Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. Thanks for tuning in and checking out this video. So I wanted to share a story with you, something I experienced when I was younger. When I was young, my father passed away when I was 13. And in those years following my father's passing, I had a really hard time. I was going through, it was a really dark moment in my life as a young guy. And I remember encountering these words and they changed my life. I remember the exact moment when I first read these words. I had been given some really good advice by some local friends, my buddy Ryan, my buddy Billy, and they said, dude, try reading the Bible. See how that works, because I was in a dark place, and they were like, I think this will help bring some light into your heart. So I started reading the Bible. I believe I started with like some of the stories of Jesus, and I was probably reading some Psalms and some of the poetry that David had written, and some of the other psalmists. Anyway, I was up to a certain place that I had been reading, and I remember I was having a particularly rough night, and I dropped the Bible, right? And this is the only Bible that was in my house. This is a Bible that was given to us by one of my cousins after the passing of my father. And I dropped the Bible, and the bookmark fell out of the page, and I was so mad. For some reason, that was just like the last thing. I was so upset. I thought like the Bible had busted. It was like a beautiful Bible. It was, like I said, it was gifted to us from a family member. And the Bible was in fine condition. It wasn't anything wrong with it, but I did lose my page. And I remember being really, for whatever reason, I was like upset, and I even started to like kind of cry for a second. I was like, why is this happening? Like everything is so annoying, It was like one of those, like a very dumb little event that happened, but it was like the 10 millionth thing that had happened like that week or whatever it was, and it was just enough to put me over the edge. And then I grabbed my Bible, and it fell face down, and when I popped it open, on the top of the page, in big, bold letters, it said the word James. James was my dad's name. That was my father's name. I didn't even know that there was a book of James in the Bible. I did not even know his name appeared in the Bible. So there I was, struggling with some of the darkest moments of my life. I dropped the Bible, had that one little dumb event that just pushed me to like, just losing it. And I opened the book, and my father's name is written there. It had been there since antiquity. It had been there for almost 2,000 years. I never knew that. But at that moment, that was the exact moment I needed to know that the word James was even written in Scripture. So then it caught my attention, and I started to read the book of James. The first line, James talks about how he's a servant of the Lord, and writing to his audience. The second line, he says, consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds, because the testing of your faith develops perseverance. This was exactly what I needed to hear at that exact moment. Consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds. I was facing so many trials. I was so overwhelmed as a young guy with what was going on in my life. At that moment, I needed to hear those words so badly. Again, a few years later, when my brother was in a terrible car accident, and he was in a coma for a period of time. And I remembered those words, and I would look back at those words in the book of James in chapter 1. Consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kind. Why does it say that? Why did James write that? Well, the church was being persecuted in the time that James wrote that. He wrote it to an audience of people who, because of their faith in Jesus, because of their belief system, they were being persecuted, jailed, killed, imprisoned, tortured. That was literally happening. And he was saying, friends, When you face trials, consider it joy, because this is what's going to grow you as a person. And for me, as a young man, that's what God was saying to me through Scripture. James had written those words like almost 2,000 years before I got to read them. And here they were, reaching out from antiquity into my heart, into my mind, into my life, into the exact moment I needed to hear it. Consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds. When we face trials, that's when we grow. That's when perseverance develops in us. That's when grit develops in us. Here I am, over 20 years later from when I first read those words. I still lean on those words. Those words, that promise that the testing of our faith, the stretching of our lives, the challenges that we go through. Today, my challenges are different, but they're still there. Today, the things that are pressure testing me, that are pulling on me and pushing on me, it's still developing me. And I have more perseverance now than I did even then because I've been through some stuff. I've been through some stuff. And going through stuff makes you tough. It gives you perseverance. It develops you as a man, as a woman. Consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kind. God has a plan for us. He grows us through these times. So I just want to encourage you, if you're in a moment when you're struggling and you're going through some stuff, God has a plan to strengthen you through those moments, through that time. This is a time to grow. It's not easy, but it is wonderful, and there's wonderful fruit to come from that kind of work. So I just wanted to share that with you today. I hope you find that helpful. God bless you. I'll catch you on the next one.